And they win!
Oh my gosh, we don't shut them.
And Emily and I have like, you have these hands
staring. You just stare.
Literally we've done it for like 5 minutes. it's like, I think you would find it terrifying. We just literally do each other. And like time.
On a sociopath.
And like time stops.
Yeah.
But like, that's just how it's been for us from the beginning.
No, we're like, oh my god, there's
Oh.
And they score again.
I guess. Oh my god, I forgot to tell you something else.
I think that's cute. You guys are really cute.
I think it's more than cute.
They won the Stanley
A new
Cup.
report online suggests that WME was trying to get Blake to be a presenter at the Golden Globes, but was declined, which was likely due to the bad press that she was getting while promoting It Ends With Us, which ultimately spearheaded the whole lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. And also noticeably absent was Wolverine himself, Hugh Jackman.
Hollywood is buzzing with shock and controversy as insiders pull away from Blake Lively. The reason? A leaked video that has sent ripples through the entertainment industry. For years, Blake has maintained a flawless public image, but this footage seems to tell a different story, one that has critics, fans, and industry insiders questioning everything. The video's contents have sparked intense debates about accountability and authenticity, leaving major studios and collaborators rethinking their association with the actress. Is this the end of Blake's Golden Girl era, or will she fight back? Let's break it all down.
Gotta spend a minute on Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, okay? I know the ruthless fellas have been all up in this business. And, I mean, no, but seriously, have you followed it at all?
A little bit. I mean, it's all over the tabloids, so you got to see it a little bit. I don't know if you're
all over the tabloids.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so for those of you, just a quick two-liner for those of you not following it. They started this movie, It Ends With Us, about domestic violence. It was his movie that he bought the rights for from the woman who wrote the book, Colleen Hoover. Then he managed to convince Blake Lively to star in it with him, and all hell broke loose. She claims he harassed her, and then by the time they premiered the movie, they weren't even speaking to each other. She made him stay in the basement, and Ryan Reynolds turned on him too. And then she claimed that he unleashed a bad PR campaign against her. And he claims none of that is true. There was absolutely no harassment. Those are made up claims. She wrested his movie away from him and decided to try to hurt him with petty, made up, out of context complaints.
We've done it for like 5 minutes. It's like, I think you would find it.
Does this not look like two people who caught feelings for each other? Does it not? Don't you? The evidence never lies, okay? Read it all, I'm telling you.
Once celebrated for her graceful image and meticulously crafted career, Blake Lively is now caught in a storm that's forcing Hollywood to rethink its own standards. While some loyal fans urge a calm and fair response, others are calling for a swift and decisive action. This script takes a deep dive into the controversy unraveling in real time, examining how the leak started, its shockwaves across Hollywood, and what it truly means for celebrity culture and accountability.
She and her husband are bullies, and now it's resulted in vicious cross litigations against both of them. The New York Times is being sued for defamation by Baldoni through his lawyer, Brian Friedman, who's also my attorney, who's been on the show. And it's as vicious as it can get in Hollywood. My own position is she's absolutely ruined her brand. She has started a fight she cannot win. She does appear like an Amber Heard to me. I have yet to see one of her complaints borne out. In fact, all of the ones I've seen have been undermined by his hardcore proof in text messaging and so on that puts a totally different light on her horrific allegations. Then you see what she actually said and wrote. It's very different. She called herself Khaleesi and said Ryan Reynolds and we believe Taylor Swift were her dragons. And she's got the best dragons because they'll fight on behalf of her friends. Now she and Taylor are reportedly on the outs because Taylor Swift is like, bitch, I'm nobody's dragon. That's unconfirmed, but it's out there. And today we see some evidence now that Blake Lively may have a history of not being upfront when she gets cast in a movie of her secret desires to actually play a much bigger role than that of lead actress.
The controversy erupted when an anonymous source leaked a video that quickly became the center of intense debate, both on social media and within Hollywood's inner circles. Observers point out that the footage captures moments and conversations that seem completely out of sync with the carefully crafted public image Blake Lively has maintained for years. In the aftermath, industry executives were reportedly stunned, struggling to believe that someone of her status could be entangled in a situation that clashes with Hollywood's long-standing standards of professionalism. As speculation spread, rumors suggested the video contained content deemed unacceptable by some of Hollywood's most influential figures, leading to a swift, calculated response from key industry power players.
At what point did it become clear to you that Blake Lively was the aggressor in this now epic showdown? Was it right after was it when Baldoni dropped the countersuit? Was it when Brian Friedman put up the website with the 170 pages and all the text? Or was it right away when the Times wrote?
Right away, I've always had an intuition about her, and I've always had an intuition about Taylor Swift and like the branding of the nice girl stuff. I knew how she grew up. I knew that she kind of is one of these people. What tends to be the case is that when you grow up with everything, you create things out of nothing because you're looking for struggle in your life and you're used to getting whatever it is that you want. So I just kind of had her down to a prototype and said, I'm going to pump the brakes and see what happens. And then when Brian Friedman came back with the facts, they were just undeniable, and it contextualized everything. And it really was quite horrific because you just go, what kind of a monster even goes through with the CRD filing and doesn't include the proper context of these things?
Experts have meticulously analyzed every frame of the leaked footage, yet the full context remains unclear. However, one thing is certain, its impact is impossible to ignore. Critics argue that the video doesn't just damage Blake Lively's reputation, it also sets a dangerous precedent in a world where digital content can be weaponized to destroy careers. Some insiders believe this leak goes beyond personal grudges, hinting at a strategic attempt to shake the very foundation of celebrity culture. The controversy has sparked crucial debates about privacy, the power of public scrutiny, and the responsibilities that come with fame in today's digital age.
At the 2022 Forbes Power Women's Summit,
I would show up on a set. I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say. But I also knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing and the costume design and creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull.
Backlash continues to mount. Several major studios and production houses have reportedly cut ties with Blake Lively, citing the need to shield their brands from the fallout. During a closed-door industry meeting, a well-known Hollywood producer addressed the controversy, emphasizing that the decision wasn't just about the leaked video, but rather the result of multiple underlying factors. Pulling the plug on Lively's upcoming projects is being seen as part of a larger Hollywood trend, where maintaining a flawless public image is now just as important as an artist's talent. Industry analysts argue that this isn't an isolated case, but rather a clear reflection of Hollywood's shift towards stricter accountability in the digital age.
We need to talk about this whole Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni stuff, because I have a lot to say.
We talked about it a little bit before,
but there's more.
But there's a lot that's come out because now there's this anti-Blake campaign that's going on.
Really?
And I'm low-key living for it.
I'm starting to think about just Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, everybody's love them. They're so attractive, love their goofy relationship. But now I'm starting to think the way they treat each other online in front of everybody. I'm what is it like behind closed doors? I bet you're both awful people. I bet you're both just really terrible. Because the interview that she did, I don't know it was an Australian reporter, or she did that interview with a reporter.
Oh yeah.
And the reporter had known she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And, I love your bump. And then she goes, love your bump. And I'm okay, well, that was crazy.
That's a wild remark to also hit back with.
Yeah,
I know. And the reporter's I wanted to cry in that interview. I was I would have wanted to cry too. Imagine Blake Lively pokes at your pot belly.
Blake Lively's public relations team has taken a measured approach, urging both the media and the public to withhold judgment until all the facts are known. In official statements, they've reinforced her dedication to her craft, insisting that the leaked footage is being misinterpreted and taken out of context. However, the shadow of cancel culture looms large, as debates intensify over whether this situation calls for true accountability or is simply an overreaction fueled by social media's viral nature. As discussions gain momentum across platforms, a growing number of voices are pushing for a more thoughtful perspective, warning against rushed conclusions that could oversimplify a far more complex situation.
I know this gets overused now, but she did FAFO. Like, she thought she could blame all of her negative press on him. He's a weakling. She's Blake Lively with Ryan Reynolds, her dragon. And she decided, I can't take 1 month worth of negative press, which she got, generated, she says, by him. He says by you and your badness. And she's so thin-skinned, look what happens to you. Look what happened to poor J. Cal even on this show. People get picked on when they're in the public eye, right? Like, just Google Megyn Kelly. You'll see terrible articles about me. It's part of being in the public eye. She's just used to being Hollywood's golden girl. And she had such thin skin that after having a couple negative things happen to her for a month, she had to blame him. She decided to blame him. And boy, did she open up a hornet's nest and learn, be careful what you wish for, because now you've got the fight you asked for and you're not winning it.
Former allies of Blake Lively now find themselves caught in a difficult crossroads, torn between personal loyalty and professional obligations. Several past collaborators have publicly acknowledged the talent and brilliance she brought to their projects, while also expressing regret over the tough decision to distance themselves. The fallout from her cancellation extends far beyond lost roles. It has ignited a larger debate about how public figures are judged in today's hyper-connected digital world. As scholars and critics re-examine the meaning of accountability, one question stands out. In an era where a single moment can be blown up into a career-ending scandal, is the industry's response truly fair or dangerously unforgiving?
Scandal.
We are seeing the downfall of Blake Lively before our very eyes.
So this week, Blake Lively and her companies are under a lot of controversy because she decided to exploit domestic violence victims to promote her brands. And now the whole internet is doing a lot of deep dives to expose her past. And I want to talk about it today because I'm not sure why we're shocked that the woman who had a plantation wedding has had repeated rumored drama on all the sets she works on, gave Harvey Weinstein a pretty glowing review during his downfall, and much more we'll cover is surprisingly not that great of a person. Like, come on, Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds have always given like high school quarterback and head cheerleader who peaked in high school that were always like passive aggressively mean to you, but like had this nice branding person, like, oh, she's so nice, but she's not. Like, she'll just turn a corner and be so rude behind closed doors. And just like those two kids from your high school that eventually got married, never moved out, and never had to develop as people, they are so out of touch and they just don't care.
The impact of this controversy is expected to reach far beyond Blake Lively's career, sparking a much-needed reckoning within Hollywood. Some industry experts believe this incident will force Hollywood to rethink how it handles scandals, especially those fueled by leaked or unofficial sources. Behind closed doors, executives are now weighing the fine line between protecting their investments and maintaining values of fairness and transparency. This situation has become a defining moment in Hollywood's evolving stance on media ethics, digital privacy, and personal expression. Meanwhile, the role of social media in amplifying controversies is under scrutiny, raising questions about whether the current industry practices truly protect public figures or leave them more vulnerable than ever.
I have a theory that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are a very suspicious couple. I get weird vibes from them. I have for a very long time. Why does Ryan Reynolds need to be the CEO of like a jillion companies? First of all, he's a perfectly successful actor. There are celebrities who you don't have any opinions on, and that's because they're not doing PR. And when there's celebrities who are doing PR for themselves and you are being trained to have a certain opinion about them, that's when I get suspicious. And may I remind you that they met on the set of Green Lantern, and they were both in relationships when they met. Ooh. And you hate to see that. You really hate to see that. And then mysteriously, a year later, they weren't.
The debate over Blake Lively's cancellation has deeply divided fans, with both sides passionately defending their views. Loyal supporters argue that a single video doesn't define her entire character, emphasizing that growth and redemption should be part of the conversation. They believe that everyone, celebrity or not, deserves a chance to learn from past mistakes and move forward. On the other hand, critics insist that being a public figure comes with an unavoidable level of responsibility, especially when one's influence shapes millions of lives. This sharp divide has ignited heated debates across social media, forums, and talk shows, exposing the ongoing tension between society's push for accountability and the enduring belief in second chances.
I have absolutely no feelings about this guy, Justin Baldoni. In fact, to be perfectly honest, I reviewed some of his social media, and he seems kind of ridiculous with his toxic masculinity, lamentations, and so on. But that's fine. That's me. So I'm not on his side. But my point is simply, I just don't see it. In their incendiary complaint, where they're trying to do their best to bash him and the PR team, I don't see that the second loop closed of, and then here's where they did it. It's just all supposition. They don't have these great texts saying, look what I got placed in the New York Post.
This controversy has become a turning point for industry reform, pushing Hollywood and advocacy groups to reassess how leaked digital content is handled. In response to the scandal, several organizations are now lobbying for clearer guidelines on the legal and ethical implications of such leaks. Legal experts have joined the debate, questioning whether existing laws adequately protect individuals whose private moments are exposed without their consent. The conversation has sparked growing calls for stronger regulations, aiming to strike a balance between protecting public figures' rights and meeting the demands of an increasingly vigilant media landscape. As legislators and industry watchdogs weigh potential reforms, the Blake Lively controversy serves as a powerful reminder of Hollywood's shifting dynamics in the digital age.
Blake Lively is getting more and more criticism from the public, and now they're bringing up the past, including the time she was trashed by the royal family. And in 2021, Blake Lively's husband Ryan Reynolds, without telling her, purchased a football team in the United Kingdom with Rob McElhenney for $3 million. And because the football team is based in Wrexham, has gotten a lot of love from the royal family, where King Charles has attended the game several times, and Ryan Reynolds has formed a friendship with him. In the meantime, Blake Lively's focused more and more on business, with one big example being Betty Booze, which is a line of non-alcoholic sparkling drinks she launched because, like myself, she's never actually drank alcohol. Around the time of the Betty Booze launch, Kate Middleton wasn't really seen at any public events, and also released this very strange photo of her with her kids. And that's because the photo wasn't really Kate Middleton with her kids and was a complete Photoshop job where many people thought Kate Middleton might have passed away, and there were a lot of conspiracies around it. Because that Blake Lively posted this on Instagram, which was a clearly Photoshopped image of her marketing Betty Booze to try and promote the brand and also make fun of Kate Middleton. Then Kate Middleton looked very stupid very quickly because it was revealed she was being treated for cancer. Blake Lively did apologize, but the royals seem upset, which is why they haven't attended any games for Ryan Reynolds' team since.
The fallout from the leaked video extends far beyond canceled projects and broken contracts. It has sparked a deeper conversation about the nature of celebrity and the fragility of public favor. In the past, personal missteps were often brushed aside or met with quiet forgiveness. But in today's digital era, every action is placed under a relentless spotlight. This controversy has become a symbol of modern celebrity culture, where even a single misstep, intentional or not, can dismantle years of hard-earned success. This dramatic shift highlights the tightrope celebrities must walk, constantly balancing authenticity with the impossible demand for perfection in an era that rarely allows second chances.
Justin Baldoni has come with receipts. Lively is finished. He has said that the New York Times basically cherry-picked and altered communications and didn't give any context to anyone, which is true. He has text messages of Blake asking him to come to her trailer while she was breastfeeding so that they could discuss the next scene. He also has correspondence of Blake asking for the costumes to be sexier in the film. It really doesn't corroborate any of these claims she's been making about the fact that he was sexually exploitative. His lawyers have said, while their side embraces partial truths, we embrace the full truth, and we have all of the communications to back it. Public will decide for themselves, as they did when this first begun. And this is the same journalist that took down Harvey Weinstein that released Blake's article, so Baldoni wouldn't be trying to take them down if he did not have the receipts. This is Mean Girl Blake coming out. It didn't go her way. She tried to fight it, but Baldoni is showing that he's not going to back down.
Amid the ongoing turmoil, industry veterans are urging a more measured approach, one that weighs both the merits and missteps of the situation. They stress the importance of a fair and thorough process, rather than a rush to judgment driven by public opinion alone. Behind closed doors, discussions are unfolding about whether Lively's cancellation is a necessary stand for ethical accountability or a knee-jerk reaction that could set a troubling precedent for creative freedom. The outcome of this internal debate is expected to shape future policies on talent management and crisis handling in Hollywood. As for Lively's future, opinions remain divided. Some insiders believe she can redeem herself if she addresses the controversy openly and constructively, while others argue that the damage may be irreversible. This moment serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of fame, where the margin for error is razor thin and public perception shifts rapidly. For Blake Lively, this is more than just a career setback. It is a defining moment that will not only influence her personal journey, but also contribute to the broader cultural conversation on accountability, authenticity, and the high cost of celebrity in the digital age.
Now, sources close to Blake and Ryan claim that they didn't attend in any relation to any of the legal drama, but this was a decision that they made a while back. But if anybody knows anything about lawsuits, they're not filed in 24 hours. It does take some time to actually put everything together and file the lawsuit. Or, as in her case, the legal complaint that she originally filed in California before the lawsuit. But could it be possible that they just decided to boycott the Golden Globes because of the rejection to have Blake be a presenter? Or is it possible that the lawsuit was spearheaded by Blake suddenly being rejected by Hollywood after all her bad press? Because even right now, she has no other film projects in the works, with exception for A Simple Favor 2 starring Anna Kendrick, but that sequel has just been announced, or has just been confirmed as a straight to streaming on Amazon Prime. That's not even going to be in theaters.
As the debate rages on, industry analysts continue to scrutinize every aspect of the leaked video, searching for a clearer narrative behind Hollywood's drastic response. The video's content, timing, and the ensuing media frenzy have all contributed to a controversy that is as intricate as it is divisive. With each new revelation, the public remains deeply engaged, eager to uncover the full scope of the unfolding drama. Every stakeholder, from media critics and legal experts to devoted fans, is watching closely, fully aware that the outcome of this scandal could reshape the very foundation of celebrity culture for years to come.